From Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight, 6 months of searching for a La Vista boy. An update on the case tonight.
Plus, a furry friend helping kids in Nebraska ease their worries over the COVID vaccine. But first tonight.
I'm sure we'll still get 1 or 2 a year, but hopefully it gets rid of it for the most part.
Businesses have new hope moving forward to combat thieves. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Last year, Lincoln saw a 500% increase in catalytic converter thefts, and that trend hasn't stopped this year.
That's right. There have already been more than 800 of these thefts, and the year, as you know, isn't over yet. Those skyrocketing increases has brought some changes here in the county. Channel 8's Alexis Koneski joins us now as we cover Lincoln tonight. Alexa.
Yeah, that's right, guys. Permits are now mandatory in order to buy and sell catalytic converters in Lancaster County, and some local businesses are saying this could be their saving grace. Leach camper sales near 27th and Cornhusker in Lincoln has been targeted by catalytic converter thieves a handful of times over the last couple of years.
We'd start them up, they'd be really loud, and realize the converters were gone, and kind of it just went downhill from there more and more every month, every quarter, until it got to a point where it was a lot. I mean, holiday weekends, we'd lose 15 to 20 on a holiday weekend, and it's a big nightmare. I mean, in addition to the expense of it.
They hired a third-party security company to do 24-hour surveillance on the lot and dropped a pretty penny on more advanced cameras. They also bought an etching machine, so their logo is on every catalytic converter in their lot. They say since then, they have seen a dramatic decrease. But even with all of that extra help, they still haven't gone scot-free. But with permits now mandatory in the county for buying and selling catalytic converters, this could finally be Leach's saving grace.
It's going to stop a lot of it just because the salvage yards, I don't want to say they didn't care, but what they didn't know didn't hurt them. And if they were buying stolen parts, they didn't necessarily know. But, now they at least have a permit and a name and things attached to it that can help trickle it down if they do find one to be stolen.
If you want to buy or sell a catalytic converter in Lancaster County, you'll now need a special $5 permit, with each converter being valued at around $1,000. Police say this won't stop thieves from going out of town to make the sale, but it will make them a bigger target for a longer period of time.
It exposes them longer in the sense that if you have to possess, I may not go to Grand Island until next week. And that means you have to possess that much longer. It gives us an opportunity to potentially identify and make an arrest or an intervention in those types of crimes.
LPD put this into place after they have seen an alarming increase in the amount of catalytic converter thefts over the last 2 years. Thieves are targeting any place they can around the city, and people are losing out by the thousands. The permit is good for a full year and was made law just a few weeks ago. At this point, it's a little too soon to see if the permits have cut back on some of those thefts. Only time will tell. And if you haven't already heard, auto thefts are up as well. During November, 36 cars have been stolen in the city, 17 of those since last Sunday. In October, LPD says 55 vehicles were stolen. These are some of the highest numbers we have seen.
Yeah, and Alexa, police say they've been preaching this for years. Keep your doors locked, keep valuables out. There's that old way of thinking that I'll leave it unlocked that way they won't break open the window. But police are saying that happens very rarely. It's better to keep your doors locked. So, Alexa, thank you for that report. Nebraska Health Department has added a comfort dog to its COVID-19 vaccine clinic.
And she's helping to ease the stress of getting a shot for younger patients. Three Rivers Public Health Department in Fremont has recruited Katie, the comfort dog. She waits for the children after their vaccination. Cases in that district have nearly tripled since mid-October, and they're at the highest rate since January.
I think it's nice to have a dog to help me calm down.
What do you think of having Katie here to pass some time?
I like it.
Why do you like it?
Because she calms me down.
Katie works with the Lutheran Church Charities Canine Comfort Dog Ministry and has traveled the country providing comfort after natural disasters. Health officials are hoping to expand protection against COVID-19 in order to prevent a holiday surge.
But after weeks of declines, cases are back on the rise, with at least 21 states reporting a rise in infections and 12 of them seeing more hospitalizations now than they seen last week.
When you have a virus as transmissible as Delta, in the context of waning immunity, that dynamic is going to negatively impact even the vaccinated people. So it's a double whammy. The unvaccinated are clearly highly vulnerable.
Now, boosters are available for anyone who got the J&J vaccine and those who are at high risk, but the FDA may expand authorization for the Pfizer booster to anyone 18 and older. Pfizer is also asking the FDA to okay its new COVID-19 pill that could cut the risk of hospitalizations or death by 89%. America's drug epidemic has reached a deadly peak, according to new federal data.
The CDC releasing the latest numbers on overdoses. Mandy Gaither has more on what health experts say needs to be done to change this trend.
It's a new record high. More than 100,000 people died of drug overdoses in the U.S. during the 12-month period ending in April, jumping nearly 30% from the same time period a year ago.
This is a national crisis. It knows no geographical bounds, and it continues to get worse.
The CDC says opioids continue to be the driving force in the rising overdose death toll. Synthetic opioids, primarily fentanyl, caused 2/3 of all drug overdose deaths in that time period. On a call, DEA Administrator Ann Milgram says her agency is finding these drugs in every state, reaching an unprecedented level.
This year alone, DEA has seized enough fentanyl to provide every member of the United States population with a lethal dose. And we are still seizing more fentanyl each and every day.
There are likely more deaths yet to be uncovered.
Dr. Trent Hall is an addiction medicine specialist at Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center. He says in his clinical experience, overdose deaths have not gone down since April when this provisional data ended. To change the trend, Hall says Americans need to be aware of local treatment and prevention resources for addiction, monitor friends and family for any signs of addiction, and be prepared.
Narcan kits are easy to obtain from your physician or local pharmacist and easy to use. As you can see, it comes in the form of a handy nasal spray.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
And speaking of drugs, a man from Orleans, Nebraska is accused of selling them to minors.
That's right. The State Patrol arrested 22-year-old Hector Lugo. They say he was selling THC and nicotine vape products to juveniles. They say they found THC vape cartridges, 6 pounds of THC edibles and drug paraphernalia in his home. Lugo is now facing several charges.
Boy, what a difference 24 hours makes, John. It's quite colder today.
Remember yesterday? Oh, it was so nice. We had temperatures in the lower mid 70s, 75 in Lincoln. Not the case today. Temperatures dropped 25 degrees for high temperature to high temperature. We only hit 50 degrees this afternoon. Mainly cloudy skies for a big part of the day, and finally by late afternoon, the sun started to pop out behind those clouds. Here's a live look right now from Beatrice. Skies are clearing as we speak. And take a look at the temperature difference from 24 hours ago, ranging from 15 to nearly 30 degrees, where it's right now 28 degrees colder in Columbus. That means the temperatures across the area are sitting currently in the 40s, only 47 degrees in Lincoln, 46 degrees in Hebron, and 41 degrees in Broken Bow. Satellite imagery showing you that the clouds are trying to clear out from northwest to southeast right now, and we are going to continue to see that trend going on. And we'll notice back to the western portion of the state, or at least the western 2/3 of the state, with clear skies outside. That's going to allow for temperatures to drop tonight pretty quickly. 6 o'clock, 44. We'll be into the 30s by 8, 36 degrees by 10 o'clock, and by tomorrow morning we'll even be talking about a wind chill, with wind chills into the teens. Just how cold it gets tonight, air temperature wise, and what we could expect tomorrow. And there is a warm up coming before the week is over. Details on that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you very much, John. In Kenosha, Wisconsin, it's day 2 of deliberations in the Kyle Rittenhouse case.
During protests last year, police say he shot three people, killing 2 of them. Today, the jury asked to re-watch some of the videos from that night.
We have our laptop ready to go, plugged into the system, so if they give us any numbers that they want to see, we should be able to pull them up for them.
We, the defense, has a real problem with them seeing the drone footage. If they want to see that, That's just tainting this jury more.
So they were dealing with that, and then this afternoon the jury sent 2 more questions to the court. It's unclear what those questions were. As they continue to deliberate, 500 National Guard members are on standby for the verdict. Rittenhouse faces life in prison if convicted of first-degree homicide. Still ahead on the news tonight, missing since May. Tonight, an update on the Ryan Larson case.
That and your full forecast after the break.
Get a load of the DQ Loaded A1 Steakhouse Burger, stacked with thick-cut bacon, crunchy onion rings, and 2 premium steak sauces. A1 Thick and Hearty Steak Sauce and a creamy peppercorn sauce. This is one burger that needs 2 hands. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
Save on everything during Menards' last 11% rebate sale of 2021. We carry a great selection of automotive products in stock. Right now, all ToastSmart accessories are 11% off. Save on this 10-pack ratchet strap and bungee cord set from Smart Straps. Pick it up for only $21.99 after 11% rebate. Save on automotive products and everything else during Menards' last 11% rebate sale of 2021.
Save big money at Menards.
Today marks 6 months since 12-year-old Ryan Larson disappeared in La Vista. The young boy left school and never returned home.
Now, a half year later, the investigation and search continues with little to no leads.
Days turned into weeks and weeks turned into months. Now 6 months later, and the search is still on for Ryan Larson, a missing 12-year-old boy with autism.
No, we haven't had a missing child case like this pretty much in the history here. We've had a lot of challenges in other areas and other cases, but because of the circumstances of this one, this is really one that you want a resolution to.
Ryan was reported missing on May 17th by La Vista West Elementary School around 11:45 a.m., where he reportedly left the school during a passing period. A neighbor spotted Ryan around 1:30 p.m. that afternoon outside of the Southland apartment complex where he lived. An umbrella that belonged to Ryan was found at the complex by a neighbor. The umbrella did test positive with his DNA. There were surveillance cameras that picked up a person who police believe could be Ryan near La Vista Kino at 1:45 p.m., but they can't identify it for sure. Lawston says they are waiting on DNA testing for some other items they have found, but that is about all they've had to work with.
We've had a lot of challenges with this because information really didn't come in. We have a young man that just suddenly disappears.
Federal, local, and state agencies, along with the La Vista community, have extensively searched Walnut Creek and continue to sporadically search the local area. Lawson says the longer a case like this goes on, the suspicion of foul play increases. However, they still do not believe he was kidnapped.
We still don't believe that he was abducted. There's no information that shows that he was taken by a stranger.
With the arrival of hunting season, Lawson is asking hunters to keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary.
Again, we're 6 months into this case. The chances that we may have a body out there, if they come across anything that seems really odd in a field, by a riverbank or wherever, take note of that and call 911, let us come out and check it out.
For now, the department is committed to finding Ryan and finding closure.
Our job is to find out, where's Ryan at, what happened to him, and that's still our ultimate goal.
And officials are still saying if you have any information that could help them with this case, be sure to call La Vista Police. Make-A-Wish, Nebraska answered the wish of a 6-year-old in North Bend.
Yeah, this is pretty cute. She didn't want a trip to Disneyland or to meet a celebrity. All she wanted was a chicken coop for her chicks. With the help of sponsors, Make-A-Wish built Aspen, a playhouse for her chickens, and presented it to her on World Wish Day. Aspen got her chicks from family and friends during her cancer treatments. Make-A-Wish Nebraska says they've seen an increase in unique wishes due to COVID-19 putting limitations on certain wishes and trips.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist John Dessauer.
We finally started to see some sunshine late afternoon. Otherwise, we spent most of the day cloudy, and that kept our temperatures down behind a cold front. Winds have been out of the north-northwest, gusting at times to 30 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight will allow our temperatures to drop, but a big drop in temperatures. Yesterday, we hit 75. Today, Lincoln only hitting 50 degrees. And take a look at the change 24 hours ago to this hour. So 5 o'clock yesterday, we were 16 degrees warmer. 15 degrees warmer in Beatrice, and we're nearly 30 degrees colder now in Columbus compared to yesterday. It's 43 degrees in Columbus, 47 degrees in Lincoln, 46 degrees in Beatrice. All pretty uniform temperatures, all within about 3 or 4 degrees of each other throughout southeast Nebraska. Winds right now out of the northwest, upwards of 15 miles per hour, some occasional higher gusts. And that's also giving us a wind chill. Right now it feels like it's 35 degrees in Columbus. It feels like 35 in York, same in Hastings, and it's about 8 degrees cooler in Lincoln, where it feels like it's 41. The other big change out there is the dew points. The humidity levels have significantly dropped as dew points have dropped 25 to 30 degrees. So right now we've got dew points into the teens, which now starts to approach some drier air. And a new forecast we'll be using this winter to let you know how dry the air is coming our way and whether or not you need to grab the chapstick and lip balm. It's my lip balm forecast, giving you an idea of how often you may be having to use it or how often you may be needing to grab it. Dew points tomorrow only expected to be in the mid-teens, so you'll probably be occasionally using some of that to keep your lips from chapping too much. As we go through the evening hours and overnight hours, we'll see our temperatures dropping from the 40s down into the 30s by early tomorrow morning. It's going to be a chilly morning, down to 24 degrees in Lincoln, 22 degrees in Hastings. And with winds out of the west-northwest, 6 to 12 miles per hour, that'll give us wind chill values down into the teens. So bundle up tomorrow morning. But you'll notice on Stormcast a gray map. That means clear skies. We're going to see sunny skies through most of the day tomorrow. By noon, temperatures rebounding back into the upper 30s to low 40s. Will likely be a few degrees cooler tomorrow as compared to today. Highs will only be getting up in the middle to upper 40s. Forecasting a high of 46 in Lincoln, 45 in Seward, 43 degrees in Columbus. Winds tomorrow sustained 5 to 15 miles per hour. So that'll give us wind chill values likely into the upper 30s during the afternoon. Now Thursday night into Friday morning, clouds will quickly be on the increase around here. Temperatures will drop down, but by Friday afternoon, temperatures should be able to rebound back up into the mid-50s around here. So we have a nice little warm-up coming our way. But with that, we'll also notice some stronger winds coming. This is taking a look across the country. Low pressure out coming out of the Rockies, so we're going to keep things nice and mild out ahead of it. But winds on Friday will likely be gusting 30 to 35 miles per hour. But we'll keep mild temperatures around through Saturday before another cold front passes through. Behind that front, we drop temperature-wise Temperature-wise, 48 degrees then by Sunday, turning breezy. Early next week looks to be cool initially on Monday, 41. Winds turn out of the south by Tuesday, trying to warm us back up to right around 50 degrees, turns breezy as well. Right now, the day before Thanksgiving, again, travel looks fine. Now, if you're heading further south into southern Missouri or let's call it southern Kansas, you may encounter some showers, but we should stay dry around here. 46 degrees. For Thanksgiving Day itself, look for partly cloudy skies, a high of 42. And for the Husker game after that against Iowa, look for partly cloudy skies, a high temperature of 44 degrees. But signs still indicate the last week of November, or at least the last 10 days or so of November, will likely be below normal, with perhaps a warm-up coming for the beginning of December.
So, John, that was the first time I've seen your 10-day. And our TVs are a little far off here. I can't really see them up close. That plane, I thought it was a seal. I was like, what is that?
That is definitely a jet flying. That's what, if people are going to be traveling, if you're going by plane, yeah. But definitely not a seal, no.
It took Megan a minute. Technically, this is my Monday. So.
You could ride a seal, you know.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. I'm sure Aquaman did. All right. Thanks, John. Now to some more national news, and President Biden's recently signed infrastructure law.
Democrats are planning 1,000 events over the next a few weeks, I should say, to sell the benefits of it. They're touting the money will upgrade aging bridges and highways and more high-speed internet across the country. They say this is going to take place over the next 10 years. They're also trying to pass the president's larger social spending package this week, while Republicans stay united against the legislation.
Not a great day on Wall Street. The Dow falling 211 points, NASDAQ down 52. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source.
Tonight, after the powerful testimonies,
get to the bottom of what happened.
The January 6th investigation has begun. What happens next? Plus, the new mask guidelines. ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir is the #1 program on all of television.
Hundreds of certified pre-owned Hondas are in stock and ready for immediate delivery. These are like new Hondas for a fraction of the cost. Save thousands with 0.99% financing. Search your local Honda dealer now.
Little one, you're gonna grow, and then you're gonna go. But I know, yes I know, you'll be okay. You'll be okay.
Next ET, we're with the House of Gucci stars at their fashionable New York premiere.
I was really proud to be able to step into those shoes.
Plus, our David Duchovny exclusive. Next ET.
Weeknights at 6:30 on KLKN TV.
We want to be honest with you and we want to tell you, and I think that's better when we actually like each other and we have better chemistry on the set.
To get you out the door early, we're up even earlier.
To get you the information you need right as you wake up.
We are the Channel 8 Morning News.
Tired of Taco Tuesday? Russ's Market introduces Fresh Friday. Get Russ's Market Fresh Fried Chicken any day of the week for any occasion. Weeknight dinner? It's Friday. Large group gathering? It's Friday. Game day? It's Friday. Watch your favorite rom-com by yourself and crying? It's Friday. Every day is Friday with Russ's Market Fresh Fried Chicken. Stop by your local Russ's Market and pick up yours today.
Ow!
Whoa!
What are you doing?
Sending these leaves to the landfill.
But yard waste isn't garbage. Leaves and grass clippings should be separated from the trash until December 1st. It's the law.
What do I do with them then?
Ask your trash hauler for separate yard waste collection, or just mulch them.
Thanks. Any more of you in there?
Found it!
Remember, no trash or limbs over an inch in diameter are allowed in leaf bags.
It's coming! At A.T. Thomas Jewelers, we're celebrating our 44th pre-holiday sale this weekend.
Pick your discounts of 25 to 75% off.
The A.T. Thomas pre-holiday sale, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
A.T. Thomas Jewelers, 64th and O.
Now is the time to upgrade your flooring, and our experts at Emo Flooring are here to help. Stop in today to see a wide variety of options, including the best in shop floors. Our team can guide you to select the right flooring at a great price. Emo Flooring.
Ready to save on Hondas? Save thousands with 0% financing. This has 0%. This. And this. Hurry in before 0% is gone. Search your local Honda dealer today.
Finally tonight, a former athlete scores a big win after finding a long-lost memento.
And a rescue exercise turns into a real rescue. Jeremy Roth has the feel-good stories, and tonight's Take a Look at This.
A former football player is reliving his gridiron glory days not on the field, but through all the fields after a serendipitous thrift store discovery delivered the Letterman jacket he ordered 28 years ago. Jed Motley designed the jacket in 1994 when he played for Chaparral High in Arizona, but after his mother told him they couldn't afford it, he never picked it up.
It bummed me out when I couldn't get it because everyone else on the team had one. I felt like the only one that didn't.
Fast forward to 2021, and Jed's brother Josh texts him from a thrift store.
He goes, dude, let me just send you a picture of this real quick. I couldn't believe my eyes.
There it was, with his name and number in perfect condition.
I knew it was mine instantly.
Jed flew in to claim his long-lost treasure, and now, decades later, a lucky thrift shop find has turned a painful memory into a story for the ages.
You never know what's around the corner. Life's a trip.
Speaking of being in the right place at the right time, a team of volunteer firefighters conducting rescue training exercises in a Maryland river were immediately put to the test when a car suddenly drove off a nearby road and into the water. A camera crew documenting the exercises captured the freak accident, and the dive team sprang into action, breaking the vehicle's window and pulling the driver to safety as the car was pulled under. The crew's captain said his team rose to the unexpected occasion.
Everything added up, everything worked out well. It's just like we train, and in real life, we made it happen.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Talk about being at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, learning on your feet. Whew.
All right, let's get a final check of the weather. John, you know, none of us are expecting what we had on Monday and Tuesday when Megan had the days off. Did you enjoy it?
I did. I went deer hunting back in near my hometown, but okay, I was sweating while I was deer hunting, which is weird and doesn't help me out at all. So
no, we're not going to worry about that tonight. We've got clear skies outside. In fact, let me take you on a quick tour of cameras around the area. There's Honda of Lincoln, and there's a view from Aloe, and here's a view from Southeast Community College where you can see the moon starting to come up in the skies. We'll have clear skies and temperatures dropping into the 20s by morning.
All right, thanks, John. Thank you all for joining us.
See you back here at 6.
With the Channel 8 Eyewitness News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
We're up before the sun, so we can make breakfast for our friends and family.
Closed captioning on Channel 8 Eyewitness News.